Hello, it's Randi Rhodes. Here's a clip from our show, and go to randyrhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast.
Mary had a little lamb.
The fault. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
Believe me.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show.
Turn up your mind.
I surely am not his base, even though I voted for him. It was more, just to be honest, an anti-Hillary vote.
I liked his platform, Make America Great Again, keeping jobs in the United States.
My vote was more, I didn't want more of what we already had.
The thing that drives me crazy is all the tweeting he does. I don't pay any attention to it, but it's in the news. It's on the newscasts every day, evening, and night. My wife watches it. It drives me crazy because the television is on all the time.
Crazy.
Why?
Well, that was a lot of it. The tweeting, it has to stop.
Did you vote for him?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay.
Because regardless of what he truly wants to get done, whatever that may be, he has got to be his own worst enemy. He couldn't be any worse at achieving goals in politics. What most disappoints me is he's such an incredibly flawed individual that has articulated many of the values that I hold dear, and the messenger is overwhelming the message. I wish he was on the opposite side of where I hold dear, because it would be better for the causes that I like.
As much as I thought he would be a quick learner and delegate to top-notch individuals,
The best people.
he hasn't done that.
We know he's a nut. Everybody knew he's a nut. But there comes a point in time where you need to become professional. He's not even professional, let alone presidential. Chill out, man.
What would you whisper into his ear, Russell?
Quit tweeting.
What would you whisper into his ear, David?
Stop picking on the media. Love them.
Brian, what would you whisper into his ear?
Start listening to other people.
Tony, what would you whisper?
Park the ego.
Wow, those are Trump voters, everybody. Those are Trump voters. Oh, the mood is getting sour. Yeah, they don't like him anymore. They don't like him. New polling today. Voter satisfaction. This is Fox News, by the way, their poll. Oh, this is bad. That there was a focus group. That is a focus group of, you know what those are, right? Where they take about 12 people and they put them in a room and then they ask them about a person or a product that they're trying to get deeper information on. I actually, I've been focused grouped. And the cruelest thing of all is to show, like when your boss has you focus grouped, which is why I'm my own boss now, because I will never do that to me. My focus group is the phone. People can call me up. My Facebook page, they write, whatever they write. My Twitter feed, they respond or they don't, or they do, and they're positive or they do. Do you know what I mean? But I had a boss, Mean Bob Green. Remember him? Yeah, the guys in there do, because they worked in that same joint, that same place that I worked. That's the Miami radio station. They had a general manager, General Mangler. His name was Bob Green. We used to call him Mean Bob Green because he was. And Bob was that guy. He was that guy that conducted meetings in his office while he was on the toilet. You know that guy? That's him. I mean, I actually had these experiences before, we had laws about, having meetings with women while you were in the bathroom going, leave the door open so I could talk. Seriously. And he was so mean that he actually organized a focus group. And, that's usual. That's normal. Networks do that. But Mean Bob Green was so mean that he made me sit through the video of my focus group where they had this woman who walked in there with like 80s shoulder pads and a clipboard and like a pencil stuck in her bun, and she looked really militant, and the questions were so stilted against whatever it was you were trying to find out about. So they said things like, how many of you know who Randi Rhodes is? And everybody, 12 hands go up in the air. How many of you hate her? Oh, great. So, they get paid a couple of shekels, right, to do this. So they all raise their, oh, my God. Meanwhile, we had the best ratings on that station, and Bob was trying to, negotiate a new contract with me and wanted to, get me out of the idea that I should make more than $42,000 a year. I'm serious. The other guys on the station who had great ratings, don't get me wrong. I mean, Neil Rogers, he had the most amazing radio. He was the most listened to guy in Miami, was on my station. But this guy, just for reference, made over $1 million for one radio market. Okay, it was only in Miami. It wasn't syndicated to any other place. He was that good. He really was that good. And so he was making $1 million, and he was coaching me when he found out that I was making $42,000 a year. I had the most listened to radio talk show host in Miami in my time slot. And he said, this is ridiculous. They're ripping you off, honey, is what he used to say. They're ripping you off, baby. They're ripping you off, honey. We actually started on the air a Pay the Bitch. Seriously, this is how bad it was back in the day, okay? Pay the Bitch Foundation, where people would call Mean Bob Green and call Boy Gary, who was the program director, and say, pay the bitch, because I would have left, which I did eventually because they wouldn't give me a raise. That's how I ended up in Palm Beach. I left Miami because they just wouldn't pay me. But Bob Green, in his negotiation, decided that he would show me this focus group to try and convince me that even though I had the best ratings in my time slot, that the people who listened hated me. To which I replied, people who hate you listen longer. But this was his technique. So he showed me this focus group of everyone hating on me. Oh, she sounds like a biker chick on Prozac. She sounds like a Maki fishwife. I hate Jews. I hate broads, whatever they said. So this is what that is right there. But this is a focus group of people who support Donald Trump, and the questions weren't leading questions like, why do you hate him? They were like, what do you think of him at this point in his presidency? And people who voted for him said, well, we all knew he was a nut. And people said, well, I want you to know mine wasn't really for him. It was an anti-Hillary vote, although the guy lied because he said he was a staunch conservative. He wishes Trump was on our side. He wishes Trump was a progressive because he's killing the conservative agenda, which this guy embraces wholeheartedly. Apparently, he thinks that, the 30 or 35% of the Fortune 500 companies who pay zero taxes need to pay less than zero. I don't know what his agenda is, but that is what he said. And that is what that is. So now Fox News does. This was separate. This was an independent focus group. This is the Fox News poll I'm about to read to you. Okay, this is unbelievable. And the headline of the conclusion of the Fox News poll of their viewers is, the headline is, Fox News poll, voters' mood sours. 56% say Trump is tearing this country apart. Whoops. Whoops. The number of voters happy with how things are going in the country is down 10 percentage points since April. It stands at just, and we're always going to have this, 35%. It hasn't been this low since 2013. At the same time, dissatisfaction has jumped to 64%, an 11-point increase.
It's obvious he can't control his mind or his tongue.
And it has nothing to do with the economy. Isn't that something, everybody? Isn't that something? The economy is actually doing fine. Obama has baked into the cake growth, as you know. We have seen 3%, 3% GDP, 3% growth in this country many times under Obama. Not that you would ever know it from listening to the conservatives, but that is just a fact. And yesterday, the quarterly was that we were growing at 3%. It's about to get, tanked at least 1 percentage point because of all this damage that happened in Texas. I mean, insurance companies are going to have to pay out. Although, this is crazy. 8 in 10 people living in the flood zone that is known as Houston do not have flood insurance. So, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but the Oracle of Omaha, Warren Buffett, who runs Geico, I mean, that's his insurance company, and he knows, how insurance claims affect the economy, said that you can expect that this hurricane is going to take at least a percentage point off of our GDP. So we made a 1 quarter here with Trump at 3% GDP growth, which is good. You know, not that we haven't seen it before. It's like I said, baked into the cake. The recovery that was orchestrated over the last 8 years prior to Trump was a solid recovery from a Great Depression, which is what we were living through in 2008. But anyway, so now we're looking at, the economy just taking a hit because of all of this. But anyway, so this shift in disapproval has nothing to do with the economy, which is rare. Usually when people are dissatisfied with a president, it's because the economy blows, and this economy doesn't blow. And even Fox News notes the shift is not tied to the economy. Positive views on the economy are higher in more than a decade. 36% say it's excellent or good. An additional 30% say it's good, in good shape. So you have like 66% of us saying the economy's it's okay. It's not bad. The last time that they responded that the economy was this good was when President Bush was president. Oh, how we laughed back in 2004. And of course, it was phony baloney, and it was the housing market, and it exploded. And obviously that had to do with deregulation, and it had to do with, liar loans, and it had to do with, the banks, the savings and loans merging with the investment banks so that the staunchly conservative savings and loans were now allowed to play the stock market. They were allowed to, gamble away your money, which they did, and it failed miserably. And so when Obama came, we had this great recession. Now, he immediately went to work building the economy, which he did. Because I say, in his presidency, we've had many quarters of 3% GDP. So, but nobody felt it because he was black. But Donald Trump is orange, and they're feeling it. They're feeling it. So that's fine. So that said, that this poll has zero to do with the economy, okay? But it's not the same for Trump. They don't like him. His job ratings are negative and increasingly negative. 56% feel, and this was the question they asked because it's Fox, and they ask, like, this is why I brought up my focus group. You could put it in a negative context to get the answer you're looking for. Do you know what I mean? You can they're called leading questions, and you can lead the question, and you could also put somebody in the front of the room that's intimidating or that looks like a real bitch to talk about a woman. In fact, I think I'm wearing the same outfit that I was wearing the day that Bob Green made me watch my focus group all those years ago. If Neil was alive, he'd go, she's still wearing that damn floral dress. It's the same dress. I know. But it's not true for Trump. People don't like him. 56%. And then the question that they asked was they were trying to get a very strong question. Is he tearing this country apart? You know what I mean? And they expected people to go, no, he's not tearing the country apart. But guess what? Almost 60% of the people said he's tearing this country apart. 33%, it's always going to be that, 33% say he's bringing the country together. Or the way they phrased it, is he drawing the country together, which is very Southern. Is he fixing to bring the country together? Is he drawing the country? 33%. Now, 55% disapprove of the job he's doing as president. 41% approve, still too high. But that is a net negative of 14 points. That is his worst score to date. And that's Fox. Go to RandiRhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast.